I was just studying my Khmer and thinking of five different people at once while I was studying my Khmer for 1 hour. I was just thinking about how much I love and miss my Aunt Sherry and how I haven't talked to her forever. So I made a little cartoon with her in it. This is my grandpa Bill and my grandma Donna in heaven. My grandpa eating or overeating while watching a violent movie. And he used to always say to me, I've literally heard him say 100 times, I don't drink, I don't smoke, my wife doesn't let me chase strange women, all I have left is overeating. And so this is like my grandma saying, our daughter Sherry is coming over, turn off that movie, Bill. Because my Aunt Sherry doesn't think watching violent movies is very positive or ethical, and it's strange being in the military. You would think I would really like violent movies, but I don't. I tend to agree with my Aunt Sherry. And so this symbol in Khmer is two, and so when I thought of the symbol two, it reminded me of that Star Trek episode, season 2, episode 6, The Schizoid Man, Data's funeral eulogy for Dr. Ira Graves. And he had transferred his consciousness into Data's body, so ended up being Data giving his own eulogy. It's like one of the best episodes in Star Trek: The Next Generation. And so, like I was saying about pattern match recognition requiring priming, and that confirmation bias is actually the way that we think, that along with power of suggestion. So one of the ways that helps me remember things in a way that basically never lets me forget, to where when all my 200 colleagues forget, all the other 200 top scientists in the world, they're like, how does Nyan still remember? And I'm like, well, the little evil genius has his strategies. So this is 2, and I wrote it 100 times, in pencil and then in pen. So there's rote memorization. And then I thought 5 or 20 steps ahead while I was remembering this 2 months ago, that it would be 2 and 2 again. So when I thought of my grandmother, so I'm basically creating 20 levels of redundancy from decay of life happening, to where when everyone else forgets everything, I still basically remember it. I'm like, so, and then I tell people, if you follow my lead and you do it like me, make sure you add humor to the process. That way, as you reflect back on everything you've learned in science, you have a great time visiting all your memories. Like, all your memories make you laugh, they make you smile, they make you cry, versus people who just kind of, dabbled in a bunch of things. They didn't really put their heart and soul into it. It's hard for them to remember and painful for them to remember. So I can go back a year, 7 years, 13 years, 20, 27 years in my mind, and it's just like a party inside my head. And I don't know if that's a good thing. Then I was just thinking about how much I love my grandma and grandpa, and I was just thinking about just God bless my parents for taking care of them and helping them out, letting them stay at their home, and then Hawthorne Court. And it's so like amazing, like the love and kindness and generosity of my mother and father. And that was in my mind too. So I was thinking of my mother and father and how just amazing they are, and how blessed Bill and Donna were to have them take care of them. And then I was thinking of my Aunt Sherry, how much I miss her and love her and haven't talked to her in forever. And so I was just thinking about those 5 people. And again, even while I'm doing this, I, looked at a bunch of different things so I could again think 5 or 20 steps ahead. So this is all rigged to like build some permanent castles in the future that will even make more sense than this makes sense. I always get accused of 2 things. I always accused of being the most arrogant person people have ever met, and then I always get accused of being the kindest, most generous person everybody's ever met. So it's very paradoxical. And then the other things that always makes me laugh is I always get accused of being the smartest dumb person people have ever met, and the dumbest smart person people have ever met. And as I started building Top Wiki and started having like 5, 20, sometimes 50 or 200 people start communicating with me, and then figuring out a way to reduce it to 5 or 20 a day, it's almost 50-50, like being a president or something, where half the people really hate you and really believe what you're doing is wrong and almost feel a mission by God to stop you. And then the other half love you and almost feel this mission by God to help you. And then I realized that must be what the celebrity effect is, that, politicians and other people feel like as soon as you start to get a little bit of power and popularity, like people literally come out of nowhere to take you down. And then an equal number of people come out of nowhere to protect you and build you up. So lots of thoughts. I love you, Aunt Sherry. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. And I really love you, Grandma in heaven. I miss you. And I really love you, Grandpa in heaven. I really miss you. I wish you were still here with us. God bless you all.